This section is on Ethics in Education, EDFA 591, School Law 2. First, we'll start with the definition of ethics. Ethics deals with the principle governing ideal or good behavior. It focuses on what is right and/or what is wrong. Although in education the ethical issues that may be facing are not about life and death issues. An ethical dilemma will take place when an educator or educational administrator is faced with a decision that may be incongruent with the organization's values and policies. There are several examples of ethical issues in education. For this reason, the educator must be guided with the appropriate decision-making strategies. Ethical decision-making. There are 5 approaches to ethical decision-making. Justice, which focuses on fairly or unfairly actions distribute benefits to members of a group. The rights approach. Each person has a fundamental right to be respected and treated as a free and rational person. The virtue approach focuses on characteristics, attitudes, and dispositions, integrity, honesty, trustworthiness that enable people to develop their human potential. Unitarian approaches are those advanced by philosophers such as Bentham and Mill that regard ethical actions as those producing the greatest difference of benefits over harms. And the common good approaches regard ethical behavior as that which advances the good of the whole community. Individuals or groups are not to be exploited at the expense of others. In ethical decision-making, social relativism approaches regard values of different cultures and groups as being grounded in a particular social context or reality. It therefore becomes difficult for a person from one culture or group to pass judgment on the values of another. The principle of benefit maximization. Whenever we're faced with a choice, the best and just decision is the one that results in the most good or the greatest benefit for most people, and judges the morality of our actions by their consequences. The principle of equal respect requires that we act in ways that respect the equal worth of moral agents. It requires that we regard human beings as having intrinsic worth and treat them accordingly. The essence is expressed in the Golden Rule. We have a duty to treat or accord others the same kind of treatment we expect to accord us. There are 3 subsidiary ideas. The first is the principle of equal respect. It requires us to treat people as ends rather than means. It requires that we look at persons as free and rational moral agents and respect their freedom of choice. And no matter how people differ, they are of equal value. There are several case studies which I'd like for you to look at, some of which are referenced in the resource section that you'll be able to see. Case study 1. A new teacher in a small central school in a country town has walked to the school after dinner one evening and was working alone at the end of the term on reports in the staff room. A female student in 10th grade who had run away from a violent argument at home saw the light on at the school and rushed in seeking sanctuary. She was very distressed and fearful. What decision did the teacher face in this situation? Part 2. The teacher offered to accompany the student to the police station or to a relative's home. The girl was too fearful to leave the staff room. She put on the teacher's raincoat and stayed away from the windows, fearing that those out looking for her might see her. Because there was no outside line the teacher could access from the staff room, the teacher offered to leave the girl at the school and to go to get some assistance. The girl was too frightened to be left alone. Again, what decision did the teacher face in this situation? What are the teacher's professional responsibilities in this situation? What actions might the teacher have taken to protect his or her own situation? What ethical principles might have informed the teacher's actions at this stage? The next case is a case referenced in the resource section having to do with merit or mercy. Are there cases which, as an administrator, it may be important that humane treatment is more important than just treatment? The final case study has to do with confidentiality, obligations, and friendship. How do you justify certain decisions? Our personal relations, and this is very important with or without a case study, our personal relations and any degree of friendship between administrators and staff best avoided. Ethics is a very complicated area with many decisions that administrators have to make. I hope that through this section and through the readings of those articles in the resource section, you'll have a better idea of how one might handle such situations.